Good morning guys, this is just Freddie. Love conquers all. Well, in this girl's situation, it will almost kill her, I think. Murder, blood, lust, love. Oh God, yes, lust as well. All on YouTube. Anyway guys, she's got herself in Macau, working as a working girl. And the next thing is, what happens is that her friend, as recording some of the story, what we've gone already, so those of you who haven't watched it already, her father's been shot dead. She's had to go and get herself a work which would preserve or keep her family to what they were mean to. They're, at the moment, they have been living under a tree. But she's changed all this. She's already got her mum a house so that they can live, but they don't have regular income. So what's happening next is she's in Macau. They told her that her friend has done a moonlight swift. So that means she's buggered off, in other words. They're working for the mafia. Ah, yes guys, but this is many years ago. You know, it's a story what someone's passed on to me. Friends what I know, but you know, don't judge me by that, please don't. It's just somebody's, well, I don't know. Anyway guys, is what happens, she's been told that if she doesn't stay longer, her friend will be got rid of in no uncertain terms. Wow, that's dreadful, isn't it? Someone's going to be putting their life for another year of working as a working girl in Macau because her friend decided she didn't want to be there, but they've told her friend would die if she doesn't stay and make up the money which this other girl just didn't pay. So yes, so anyway, she did her 2 years. What she only supposed to be on a contract there for a year, and in that 1 year, she's obviously, this is somebody who's given her life to her family, and she will find love as the story goes along. It's all ups and downs. So anyway guys, the next part is she goes back to Bangkok. She'd been working and doing this job for 2 years. She meets up with her friend, and you know, I think they've patched things up. But she does, in between here, this is a bit of a misty part of it, she does meet up with some guy and they fall in love, and she goes and lives in Singapore. So what happened, she goes to Singapore. Family don't want her there because she can't produce a baby. You know, like Asians are like about children. Yeah, so she just spent 5 years of her life finding out the family won't want her there because she can't produce a baby. You know, this is the girl that's giving herself up to everybody. Anyway, guys, so the next thing is she just to disappear for there. I understand from what I've found out during the week, she went back to Bangkok as a call girl. She went back there. I understand she worked for some old guy. There's no sex involved, apparently. It was just a case of he supported her and gave her a house or flat, probably a condo in Bangkok. And he had lots of dodgy properties and stuff, which he put in her name because he was a foreigner. Anyway guys, this is one part. The next thing is what happened, she's wondering what to do with herself. You know, so she decides that she's going to go and do something somewhere else. So the next part of the story is she comes to London, and she lands at the airport, and she'd only just got in the car. The lady had said to her, "Don't you look ugly?" My God, she just come from the other side of the world. By this time, she was clocking on 35, something like that. Still, you know, still quite pretty lady. You know, she kept well, Asians do. So anyway, guys, then after this, she went. They took a passport off of her, and she started working, and she become quite disgruntled with it all. She'd come to a part in her life where she thought she wanted to do something different, but she had met up with somebody Boom and met up with somebody in London, and I think it might have been a client even. She seemed to have liked the guy quite a lot. They started to go out with one another while the time she was here, and eventually, you know, they're talking about marriage and engagement. But anyway, he was a professional gambler. He'd gone to Hong Kong and yeah, professional gambler. He'd gone to Hong Kong and borrowed money, and it's, you know, but as professional gamblers do, they borrow a lot of money, or people put money on because they know they can win vast amounts, you know. Yeah. So anyway, he disappears, and he rings me one day, and he says to me, "Can you go to London?" He says, "Boom is in trouble." I'm sure she told him that she was working at a restaurant. So anyway, they ring me, or he rings me, I should say. He says, "Can you, you know, Freddie, can you do me a favour? Can you actually go into London, pick up Boom? She's in big trouble." Yeah, I said, you know, good friend, that's what I would do. So she rang me, give her my telephone number, and I met up with her. She'd done a runner from where she was. I think it had been raided or something. That's what she told me afterwards. I met her in Park Lane. If you know, when you go down Park Lane in London, if you know London quite well, you go down that bit in the middle and there's a garden there. And that's where I met her. And she, well, I talked to her. We went around Hyde Park just having a lowdown what was happening. And you know, her boyfriend wanted me to take her somewhere safe out of the way, so she had to stay with me for a while until he came back. But anyway, guys, that was I think after that they'd gone back to Thailand together quite a few times. Built a property, I understand, you know, very nice property in central Thailand. She was beginning to get her life together at last, you know. She'd given life for her mum, the family, you know, from living under that tree. Now she'd been having a regular income, but never in that time had she looked after herself. Which is quite sad, really, isn't it? That somebody gives all their life, and then what happens is they get nothing in return. And it's very sad, it is. But by this time, she'd already accumulated a house in central Thailand, another house in Bangkok. But it was all money. There's no love, you know, it's just claiming, just getting money to make things work. So, you know, he come back from Hong Kong. I think they, you know, they'd spent a lot of time together. They'd gone back to Thailand, as I'd already said. They had a lovely house there too, what he built for her. You know, this is very weird story, how it's all... But this is a true story, guys. This is something I've been wishing to tell the world for many years. It's very sad, it is. And eventually she actually gives him the kick too. Yeah, she gives him the kick too, I suppose, with all what's happened in her life. It's, you know, disturbed her in some way, and obviously looking for something more. I think she wanted a child. And so what happens next is quite a big thing, is she met another guy. You know, she'd seen on the quiet after... I think she was still living with my friend, and she'd started going out with this guy. Wealthy one once again, you know, but I think what I understand is, and well, just to cut a long story short, guys, you know, this is a lady who all her life was been sucking money for blood, for money for a family, you know, giving her life to do it. How you know, how could you... I couldn't do that myself, you know, but I suppose you would do if you in a situation. Anyway, guys, the nice thing is, I understand from a friend of mine, now she has a child and she's very happy. And I hope you enjoyed that. That's a real true story, guys. Next week, I'll be giving you my own story, and probably somewhere we'll be going to the airport. Heathrow Airport. Yes, I'm waiting to get back on the plane myself, back to Thailand. As you know, at the moment, you can't leave. My wife came back here to have a baby, and you know, we tend to be here a lot longer than we expected. You know, just Freddy Thailand is you know, I'm supposed to be there, but you know, we've I do have a property in Thailand. We've lived there. We go backwards and forwards, but you know, we came back here about March time last year, and that's when it all started. You know, we're not very rich people. We have good income, good living, but we don't, you know, we don't have the means. You know, thing is, you got to do quarantine. You've got a dog, got a cat. I mean, we got our dog and a baby. So all things what have to be paid for to. You know, especially the dog, I think it's about $2,000. But anyway, we go over that next week. Something about Freddie for a change, and something fresh. And why I want to move to Thailand, but I think you really know that, like we all do. Us vets who love Thailand, haven't been going there for many years. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that story. Big thumbs up. You know, really, that's what makes this all worthwhile. It is, guys. If you can give a subscription or even just a thumbs up, be very happy. If you're not, anyway, I look forward to seeing you all again next week at the airport. Am I going back this time, or am I going there for other reasons? Just Freddy Thailand. If you've got any questions about the story or anything you'd like to ask about moving to Thailand, I'm more than happy to help you. Or you're just beginning your channel, you need some advice. You know, I'm just still in the early days of my own, but anything what help other people, I'm more than happy. Anyway, guys, looking forward to seeing you next week. Big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you like, if you dare, that is. Anyway, guys, we'll see you next week, and thank you for your time. Just Freddie.